Dawson Rider with you.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here, and welcome to my, what I might now be calling Dawson, or Deja Vu Dawson, or Dawson's Deja Vu. Somebody commented that on my episode 9 review, but I'm re-reviewing episode 10 for the people that are watching it live in the US that did not watch the international airings. Oh, hi Mark, how's Australia? Oh, you're going to be hearing a lot of repeat stuff if you watch both reviews, but I like to, you know, keep my tradition of getting up to watch Beast Morphers. And this episode, this should be a quick one, just like I think the last time I reviewed this was a quick one too, because this was much more of a fillery episode. Did not take place in fillery, but like, you know, filler plot-wise. Because the main plot was about a toothache. Like, Ravi, it was about fear, of like conquering your fears. And Ravi was afraid of the dentist, and so Liv's like, why don't you eat the brain of somebody that's not afraid of the dentist? That's the wrong show. He's afraid of the dentist, and he doesn't want to go, and then at one point he gets convinced to go by Ben and Buddy. Ben and Buddy? Who's Buddy? Oh, Buddy the Elf? I know him! All over the place in this one, guys. It's too early. Ben and Betty are like, oh yeah, come try our dentist, he's totally BFF cool. And then they do like a physical gag of like, it looks like he's using a hardcore drilling tool on a patient's mouth. Ben and Betty are like, oh yeah, this will be totally fine. And then they're the ones that get scared. I did find that mildly amusing. But that was the main premise, is they're like, Robbie's afraid, he goes, and then Ben and Betty freak out, so then he freaks out again. And it ends up causing him problems. And later on he sees, I want to call him Abraham because it's his real name. Why am I forgetting your name? Nate. And he sees him conquering his fear of spiders, and so that inspires him to go at the end. It's largely inconsequential. It causes a few problems where he's like, oh, I was so distracted by the toothache. And all I could think about, even though the premise of it was different, was the Dino Charge episode where Chase had the toothache because of the cake or whatever, and that had nothing to do with the toothache distracting him or fear or anything, because it was about a plot between him and Riley. But he basically still shook it off and fought, like it didn't cause any distractions. He's just like, oh, my tooth, like that's more southern. Oh, visit New Zealand. It kind of reminded me of that because you have those scenes of like the guy in helmet grabbing his side, you know, for the toothache. But that was basically the A plot, and it was pretty straightforward, nothing too special. Like it wasn't anything that I was like, oh, this is super annoying, but it wasn't anything where I was like, be my BFF Facebook episode. It was just there. It was fine. At least it wasn't too heavy-handed. Like I said, I was kind of amused by the Ben and Betty stuff with that bit, just because I did think the idea was funny that they brought him there because they were confident in it, but then they were the ones that got scared, and I don't know, it was amusing, I guess. The other thing, though, which is funny, because this was largely a filler episode, is they did introduce a major plot point for the villains, because, like I said, there's not going to be major spoilers in this for the future episodes, but this plot they introduced does go on for most of the rest of the season, or at least a good chunk of it, which is there's this ongoing plot of Evox wanting to steal the Rangers' powers, and not like steal like they're gonna lose it, or not like steal like the robot, but like, you know, when you hear about those people that have those things where they steal people's credit card info by walking by them, like a Nintendo Friend Pass, but evil. And they can, whenever the Rangers use their power, it copies it. And Evox basically issues a challenge to Ravi's at the dentist. Roxy and Blaze, to whoever gets all 3 powers first gets an upgrade. That's where the hashtag Team Roxy stuff started to come from, because hashtag Team Roxy always, Ropsy. Man, I can't even speak in this one. Too early, guys. So that's where that comes from, and that's like a plot that actually is nicely ongoing. I like it because it gives the villains a very specific drive, which I like. So you have something like a specific goal that they're working towards, even more so than just the, we're evil, here's our plan, and we're always just following this one plan to get Evox out. So I like that it gave them a specific goal you could follow, and it also gave a specific goal for Roxy and Blaze. It put them at odds a little bit. It does some interesting stuff with that. So I like that they introduced that, and I'm going to say in advance that I like that they kept that going, because they've had problems with that the last few years. Sort of a different situation, but Super Ninja Steel had that plot with like the Galactic Ninjas, where the villains knew about it, but the heroes never really did. Like, they mentioned their name once, and that could have been a solid little mini arc like this, where it's kind of a driving force, but they never did it properly. In this one, they actually did it properly. It is kind of strange that you have this basically a filler episode about a toothache, introducing a sort of major villain plot. Like, you'd think it would be more intertwined. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. There's like not a whole lot to discuss. I found it to be fine. I don't remember what I scored it last time, but honestly, it was just an okay episode. Like, it wasn't the greatest. If I'm being generous, I'd give it a 7, but it's probably more like a 6.5. Not like it was awful, it's just like, I liked the introduction of the villain plot, but the filler stuff was just meh. Like, there's actually some decent-ish fillers, and better ones, that are coming around the corner. Anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for all my videos. And check out these shirts if you want to represent Team Roxy or Team Justice for B-Spots, or, you know, one of my logo shirts or whatever. Anyway, thanks guys. Dawson Rider, signing out.